Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and this is what's on my iPad. I'm doing this video because so many of you guys have liked the other videos that we've been doing in the Astronomy YouTube channel that I figured I'd go a step further and do more of what you want me to do. And of course, if you have not yet subscribed to Astronomy here on YouTube, what are you waiting for? Click the button. It's really easy. But before I dive into what is on my iPad at this point in time, let me first explain that a lot of the paid applications on the iPad I got for free. And you can get paid applications for free too. It's really easy. I've been doing it for quite some time, so I am speaking from experience. 3 ways that I know how to do it right now, and don't worry, I'll put the links for you in this video's description. You can tap them directly from your iOS device, and as I find more ways of getting free stuff using your iOS device, whether it's an iPad, iPod Touch, or iPhone, I'll be sure to add the links in this video's description. One way is using this, go.tagjag.com/free slots. It's a slot machine, and every time you spin, you get coins, and then you can exchange those coins for free stuff. Free applications, free iTunes gift cards, free, let's see here, what else? Oh, Amazon gift cards. I love getting Amazon gift cards for free. Who doesn't? I mean, unless, of course, you don't shop at Amazon, but I do. That's one way. The second way I get free applications is go.tagjag.com/free apps. And here I can exchange my points for Hulu Plus subscriptions, Fandango, movie, well, I guess they would be passes from Fandango, iTunes gift cards, Amazon gift cards. It's real easy. And of course, free applications. The new way I found out just the other day, and it's working quite well, go.tagjag.com/free points. You download sponsored applications, and when you've downloaded enough of them, you can basically exchange the points that you generate for free applications, free gift cards, and this one even allows you to exchange for PayPal cards, too. So you're making free money with a device that you may have bought. Had to explain that so you can get paid apps for free by using those 3 links directly from your iOS device. It's the easiest way to get paid apps without paying anything. So here we have my screen, my start screen. It's pretty clean. I stay as organized as I possibly can, and you will see that as we roll forward with this demo. I have Apple Maps right here in the corner. No, I don't have Google Maps on here directly, at least. I can get to the web-based Google Maps, but right now, as of right this very moment, Google doesn't have an iPad-optimized Google Maps application. I haven't had an issue with Apple Maps at all either. Then I have my photos right there, the App Store, and these are, I would say, not my primary uses for the iPad, but certainly I like having them outside of folders. Not a big fan of Newsstand. I haven't yet moved it to the last page on the iPad, but I may very well do that at some point. At the bottom, I have applications that I use very frequently. The calendar application with the date, nice, big, and bold, and so I can see it from any page. Settings, I jump into frequently enough. Messages, I use all the time. There's Safari, although I've gone back and forth between using Safari down here and Google Chrome. I am a fan of Chrome on iOS. The Mail application, again, all the time. And then the Astronomy application. Right now, it's not iPad optimized, but it will be very soon. Oh yeah, there's our current sponsor, Parallels. You can save $10 by using the link go.tagjag.com/parallels10 when you check out. And even if that's not active right now, I can save you money on applications anywhere. This is the free Astronomy application that you can download to stay up to date on everything we do, including getting push notifications when we are doing a live stream on YouTube or doing something fun or special, as well as meet other people who love the Astronomy universe and watch the live video feed at live.pirillo.com. Have fun with the camera application where you can superimpose my head over things. Look at that. It's fun. Okay, I think it's fun. Otherwise, I wouldn't have developed it. It's courtesy of Mobile Roadie. They're the ones who made it possible to do a free Astronomy application. And so if you want to make your own app, use mobileroadie.com and just tell them I sent you too. So yeah, it will be updated, hopefully within a year, to be iPad native. It's also available for Android, although I'd be surprised if you use Android and are watching this video or made it this far. The next folder I have is defaults. So these would be applications that I don't use all that frequently, but they are defaults on iOS. And you would know the standard icons. Certainly, I don't really want to jump through them specifically. Don't use Game Center a lot, other than tracking my own achievements. I'm not a big social gamer, so to speak. Although I do love my iPad for games. Some games. first-person shooters primarily, casual games even sometimes that would look better on a larger screen. Then next I have the Apples. These are applications specifically developed by Apple, but are not native to the platform. So this would be your iBooks, Find My Friends, your remote, Find the iPhone. Although I'd be surprised if Apple doesn't rename Find iPhone or Find My iPhone at some point, because now it's iOS and your Mac. You can do Find My Mac with the iCloud service now too. I don't know if you knew that. I have airports at home. That's how I connect by way of Wi-Fi. All the iSuites, or I guess the iWork suite, so it would be Keynote, Pages, and Numbers. I have the trailers, although I don't watch movie trailers all that often. I usually just go to YouTube. I think we all do, really. But it's there, just in case, I want to watch trailers. iPhoto and podcasts. I don't use the podcast app, although the show that we do is also available as a podcast. Next over, and you can kind of get a feel of what's most important for me just by where I have these folders in relation to others, specifically on the first page, second page, third page. Media. So this would be mass media, where, I can download an app to more easily watch videos or read news. All the big brands are in here, including Adult Swim. I love watching Robot Chicken in that. TBS, I think, has done a fantastic job with it as well. I have to use my television service provider to log in order to get access to some of this content. I also have my Sling Player app in here. Although, this is still I haven't run it in a while. It's still the iPhone version of the app, because for some reason or another, Sling Media didn't make the iPad version of the Sling Player app work with my Sling Player, the actual hardware, which allows me to remotely view a television experience. It's a rather nice piece of hardware. I just haven't updated it in a while. I also love sound on my iOS devices, playing with sound. I'm not a musician at all, but I do like having fun by tapping the screen and pressing buttons. Let's go ahead. I think the sound is up. This is Bloom HD. Let's go ahead and create. And this is a very spa-like multi-touch. I could zone out for hours just tapping the screen and listening to random sounds like that. It's so much fun for me. I love sound applications. Sound Drop, another fun one, and I think I featured this even in, I guess I can reorient. Let's go ahead and play. Try to keep I guess I can take that off now. I had it sitting on a stand. Play. There we go. And as I swipe, make sounds. Fun, stupid, but fun, and I like stupid but funs. We also have a couple others, including an old-time favorite, Bebot. Multi-touch too. Then we have, what else? You've seen a couple of these before. GarageBand is in here. That is an Apple application, but it is kind of a music play app too, so I put it in that separate folder. Isle of Tune is awesome. I love this thing. It was a web-based application a long time ago, and they ported it over to be iOS. So you can basically construct scenes, and as the cars move along, it plays music. Fun. I think it's fun. And then remember the Tenorion? I have one of the... I should probably pull it out. I did a video on the Tenorion years ago. It's a very expensive musical instrument, and now you can get the Tenorion on iOS. You remember that video from a while ago? You basically touch different parts of... it would be the grid, and then sounds register. You can switch levels. You can switch sounds. So much fun. If you wanted a Tenorion and did not have $700 to spend on the actual unit, it costs far less to get it in the App Store. Of course, you can get it for free too, and I showed you how at the beginning of this video. So there's a few of the music play stuff. I also have my readers. These would be kind of like, I wouldn't say RSS readers. I mean, I still subscribe to RSS, kind of, but by and large, I get most of my news in social media. When you guys tweet me, at Chris Pirillo on Twitter, or, on Google Plus or Facebook, that's where I get most of my stuff. Even YouTube to a certain degree. I love Flipboard, that is there. There's also HitPad, Zeit, News 360, not as much fun as Flipboard. And yeah, I guess I do consider these apps fun, because it's fun to navigate the news the way that it's displayed in these interfaces. Pulse was also recently updated, and I appreciate being able to navigate the news by looking at thumbnails really quick. I can get an idea of headlines and then dive in deeper if I want. Of course, there are no thumbnails in those. Fun applications there in my news folder. I also have my teleprompter application, which I haven't used in a while, but I also have that here in the readers section. I also have a comics app installed. I don't have a lot of comics to read, though, on the iPad. I don't have any comics services. I'm not a comic buyer. I like reading comics, but I have it there just in case, I'm like, oh, I want to download something. There's a free version available or whatever, and I can get it through that application. I also have a separate entertainment folder, as I was going to say. So I've got media, music, play, readers, and then entertainment here. This would be a way of getting to what's on right now. So I've got Netflix in there, Flickster, my Xfinity guide, Ustream, instant video from Amazon now available for the iPad, way to get to Fandango here. Although I don't use Fandango all that much. I mean, I can get free movie tickets now with go.tagjag.com/free apps, but this is a way for me to just kind of like tap and like, oh, what's going on right now? Oh, tap, what's going on right now? And get to it. Frequency is a new application that I just installed that may get moved to the other folder because it's more of a reader, but it's kind of like a reader combined with a YouTube discovery tool. So if I connect Twitter accounts to it, or my Twitter or YouTube, Twitter or Facebook accounts, it will scan my feed and then play back videos that are available on YouTube. So it's kind of a reader for YouTube discovery, these are channels that you may not already be subscribed to. I also have my comic apps in there. It looks like I need to do some reorganizing. A couple of more comic apps, including Graphically and My Comics. I may have different comics. I like the old comics. Like the, not graphic novels. I mean, old comics like Disney comics. They were fun for me. Then I have a radio folder with music and Pandora, and I think Pandora's installed on everybody's iPad. SoundHound, Ambiance, which is more of a sound generator, like you can create white noise or different mixes of stuff. I'm not going to go ahead and do that right now, though. I want to keep running through. TuneIn Radio, that is the premium version. Spotify, also love that. And Hourly News. This is a great application now. Let me pause. I don't have the rights to replay what they're broadcasting, but with this application, it downloads the latest news summaries from the top news services that normally are broadcast by radio. You can just tap a button and listen to all of them. Really easy. I love that application because I like listening to news. Then I have my drawbees, as I call them. These are kind of screen fun types of tools. So an all-time favorite, Uzu. Let's go ahead and begin. It has multi-touch. There we go. Fun stuff, visual. If I want to say, hey, look, I can do this. It's fun. It's mindless. So I've got some things that require thinking on here, as well as some mindless stuff as well. Gravilux is another favorite. Maritime Paint, Art in Motion, Fluidity. I also have Draw Something in here. And then Carl Laser Draw. This is apparently going to load upside down. I hate when developers don't adhere to the way Apple has it set up, because if they use the API properly, you should be able to hold the application in either orientation and it would work naturally. So I can draw and make lightsaber sounds. What's not to like? Photo view. This would be a handful of photo viewers. I should probably pick my favorite ones in each of the folders just to keep things moving along. Airframe, Photo Wall, Explore Flickr, Flickr Stack, XP, FlickPad, Photo Table, Instapad, and TwizGrid. TwizGrid's interesting because what it'll do is it'll pull in images that are in your Twitter feed, and then it'll display them, which is really a nice way of discovering new stuff. And I like discovering things that otherwise I'm not subscribed to, because how else are you going to learn about new things? You don't just want to stick to your subscriptions. I have a photography folder, and here I have the default camera app. See, that's not on the front screen of the iPad because I don't use the iPad camera. Where is it? Here. How am I holding it? There. Here and here. I don't... here. I don't use the cameras on the iPad all that much, so I put it in the photography folder. Photo booths in here as well as some photo booth clones and some HDR photography stuff. I also have, let's see here, an iLapse app, which allows me to do time-lapse photography if I wanted to with the iPad, which isn't a bad idea, because if I just set it up and just press iLapse, you know, I wouldn't be using the iPad for the camera anyway, so using it for time-lapse photography might very well work well. I use the PhotoSync tool to synchronize images between any computer, and the iPad or the iPhone or iOS device. PhotoSync is the name of that tool. I needed that earlier this year. A couple other things in here. Let's see here. What else should I... the HDR thing, 1-bit camera. I guess that's pretty much all I would want to show you in that folder. Now, I've got a lot of applications installed. I don't use all of them regularly enough, but I have them tied to my account, and I'm like, well, I have the space, so why not use them? I just organize them as I go along, and then every once in a while I go through and purge. Photo edits. These would be all my photo editors that I have installed. I like PS Express, although I have not downloaded the official Photoshop tool that Adobe has released. Some people have recommended it a lot. Snapseed is installed, now owned by Google. Some people have said it's an Instagram clone. I don't know if I would agree with that still. Snapseed is easy to use. Halftone, a way to make your images look like they were straight out of the comics. Then we have, what else? PicShop, which is another photo editor that I find interesting, or at least easy to use. In terms of photo editing on the iPad, I don't know if I have a go-to app for it yet. I haven't found one that just works well enough in every situation, so I keep a few of them installed since different apps seem to work for better for one thing or another. I do have a lot of fun with images, though. I've got Comic Life installed, my #1 favorite image fun application. I don't know if you've ever downloaded this for Windows or OS X, but there's an iOS version available as well, and you can more easily draw comics. And I'm not going to jump in and show you what else they have, but I also have Percolator, which I believe is, iPad native, and you can percolate images real easily. If I choose a photo, let's go ahead and I'm just going to demonstrate this one for you. Take a picture of the Mac, preview, and let's go ahead and use it. And then what will happen after I give it permission is it will make that photo percolated, all bubbly. Isn't that fun? I love that application. I have a couple of other apps on here that will allow me to transpose faces more easily, although I found a couple of better ones on my iPhone, or for my iPhone. I'm going to be doing a What's on My iPhone here in another week or so for New Year's, so stay tuned for that. I found this one recently, a nice app for either iPad or for your iPhone. What you can do is more easily capture multi-pane images, like right here from within the application. Let's do this. There we go. And then you can swap them around and what have you. Or you can randomly generate a new layout and create photo montages dynamically. Fun. This one, again, is called Momentia. So Moment, S-I-A, Momentia. iCamera is another fun one, too. Or iCamera. And with this, what you can do, let's see if you can see that for where you are. It'll automatically detect your eyes and then display a different effect over it. Like, see, I can have my eyes go big or small. Really. I can also, all right, there. Oh, there's my Santa face. It's really fun. iCamera. That is the letter I, E-Y-E, camera. And let's see here. That is that row. So image fun, screen fun. This is kind of in the same realm as the Drawbees, I think, where I can just draw on the screen mindlessly and have fun, including a plasma globe. Years ago, I wanted one. I finally got one, and I never use it, although it was kind of fun to play with a plasma globe. Is my hair standing up? Probably not. If it did, I would be shocked. There are a couple of other applications in here, including a port of Screensaver, X Screensaver, which you may have downloaded before on, any operating system, OS X, Windows, Linux, classic screensavers. In fact, where is BBBB? There we go. Bouncing Cow. Remember these screensavers that I ran in my videos a long time ago? You can get that for your iPad, and there's so many screensavers on here. Not just the Bouncing Cow, tons of them. A lot of them suck, but still kind of fun to, point out to somebody and like, oh, look what I can do with my iPad. It's fun. All right, so I'm going to move on from there. I have an entire Google folder with Chrome, playbooks, which I don't use all that often. Google Drive, which I use frequently. I can edit Google Docs from Google Drive now. The Gmail application, which is good. The Google app, which also has the ability to do Google Voice search in here. Or it should. Let's see here, Google. Who is Chris Pirillo?
According to Wikipedia, Christopher Joseph Pirillo is the founder and maintainer of Logargnamic, which is a network of blogs, web forums, mailing lists, and online communities.
Close enough. I just love that feature and the fact that it's even on iOS. Google Earth, the Translate app, Google Currents, which is not as good as the other reader applications that I've used at this point in time, but it's getting there. Google Plus, I do happen to like a lot. And then, of course, the YouTube app, which is native now to the iPad screen. I appreciated the YouTube app, too. Although, sometimes I wish on iOS I could open up a YouTube video in Safari versus the YouTube app. I've thought of even uninstalling the YouTube app for that reason. Then next to it, I have Scribbles. So again, some screen drawing. And these would be screen drawing tools that might lead to something else. So I've got paper, so if I want to scratch down notes specifically. I also have other drawing tools. Adobe Ideas is in here. Notebook Ninja, Moleskine, and then Pen Ultimate, which is one of the more popular sketch tools. I did a video on this a long time ago when I first downloaded it. It's great for just, writing something down, going to the next page. Really responsive, of course, on the iPad screen. So I keep all my scribbles in that folder. Art Rage, the number one art tool on any device, is Art Rage, with the amount of paintbrushes and color and styles that you can use inside this. The number one paint tool if you have not tried it. Art Rage. Then we have productivity. I've got my Evernote, MindMeister, which is mind maps, text expander, Sign It is in here if I need to sign documents on the fly, PDF tools. I also have 1Password. I purchased the new version for like $8. It's how I manage all of my passwords. I can browse zip files from using the zip browser tool. I also have Nebulous, which allows me to edit documents and have them synchronized to Dropbox automatically. My Square register, if I need to take money using my Square card or Square little thing that you plug into your headphone jack. Square, done videos on it before. Haiku Deck is one of my favorite productivity tools. I'm not a big fan of PowerPoint, so every presentation that I do, like the one I just got paid to do talking about applications it was over in the other side of the state of Washington. I built the presentation using Haiku Deck, and I've talked about it briefly, but it's really easy. It's fun. If you need a creative presentation, it's my number one recommendation. Forget PowerPoint. Forget anything. Forget even Keynote. Haiku Deck is free, available for the iPad. You type in what you want to say, it goes out to the web, finds a Creative Commons licensed image that matches that phrase, and then puts it together. And so you've got a compelling presentation. I'm telling you, it will make you the rock star of any event. Use Haiku Deck. And again, these are just apps that I like. I don't even know if the developers know I'm going to be talking about them. But it's free, it's easy to use, and it's fun to build presentations in Haiku Deck. Next page, I have local stuff. Oh, just turned it off. Let me hold it this way so I don't accidentally hit the power switch. I have my local folder, so Traffic, a Tourist, which is an application that would more easily allow me to discover things around me. Find Me, again, one of those geolocation applications. Yelp is in here, Around Me. Waze, which is like a social GPS tool. It's fantastic. And that's the local folder for the most part. Next to it, I have the travel apps, like my TripAdvisor, TripAssist, a speedometer. I don't know if I'd ever really use that all frequently. Like a way to more easily see, any kind of shutdowns or traffic here in the Seattle area. Sorry, it's a little bright there. I was just going to show you. It's not really that interesting to look at. It's just very informative. I also use Kayak to search for low prices on trips. Then we have a screen text folder. So if I wanted to display a banner to somebody or I don't even know what's on there. Reviewing mentions. Oh, so it's pulling in Chris Pirillo mentions from Twitter, and I'm sure that's just flying by. I have no idea what's going to come up here. Love that app. Fun, somewhat functional. And then other applications that are a lot like it that have to do with text, including this one, which is more of a fun application, but you can use like any photo here. Let me switch and do this. A second. All right. So there's my face. And then what it does is it... Okay, apparently the app is having issues, needs to be reprogrammed. But that's my face, but it's filled with text, letters, fonts. Or I guess it would be a single font, but the text used to make my face look like it's made of text. Fun. Wallpapers, so if I want to download new wallpapers, I don't change my wallpapers all that often, though. I'm kind of a boring guy when it comes to wallpapers. I know a lot of people like customizing, and I'm like, I just want it to work, and does it look good enough? Then I'm happy. I have browsers, so Skyfire, if I want to watch a Flash video, I could use that. I also have Dolphin for iPad, which I'm not a fan of. If I need to read a document that I can't view natively on the iPad, I use ReadyDocs. Readle Docs. I always say that the wrong way. Readle Docs. ReaddleDocs. Readle Docs. I don't know why I always see that L as an I, though. A couple of other third-party browsers as well. I have a system folder for GL Benchmark, Geekbench, and Clipboard. Now, this was an interesting discovery I found the other day. It's called Cloud Clipboard. I got it for free. They'd marked the price down. And with this, you can have a multiple clipboard, or a clipboard with multiple entries on your iOS device, whether it's your iPad, iPhone, or iPod Touch. And you can synchronize it to the cloud, so you can keep your clipboards completely synchronized. And it works really well. Like, it copies things into the background and allows you to get back to them. So if you're worried about copying and pasting and losing what you normally had on a single item clipboard, you could use, and you are amazing, you could use Cloud Clipboard. A new favorite, put it in my system folder. Files. Here's where I have my Dropbox app, Box, a couple of other photo access apps. Like if I wanted to more easily browse my images on the desktop, I open this application up and then browse to this URL, and then I can view the images directly from a desktop web browser. Really, not just any desktop web browser, any other web browser. That's just a local IP address on my home network, or really any network that I would use it on. And then let's see here, reference. So I don't have a lot of stuff in here either, but just in case I need a dictionary and I'm not online, I've got Bing for iPad. One of the best iPad apps out there, believe it or not, is from Bing. It is a great way of discovering news. They do a fantastic job with laying things out. Again, it's an easy way of discovering things that you might or might not be interested in, or may not realize you're interested in. And I just think that Bing, or Microsoft specifically, did a good job with the app. And plus, it's free. A calorie counter, which I never use. A recipe holder, which again, I never use. But just in case, you never know. That's why they're here. A few what I call cycles. So if it's like a two-wheeled vehicle that's a game, it's probably going to go in here, including a game, Light Bike 2. You know that I love Tron. Yeah. Yes. I haven't launched it on this iPad yet, apparently. Since my last, I did an iCloud restore the other day, which was very convenient, but in doing so, reset a lot of my permissions. Let's do this. I'm going to mute it, standard. I don't know, you guys ever play light cycle games? I love these things. But then again, I love Tron. In fact, I was just watching the Legacy last night, or Tron Legacy. Get you a little dizzy, but it's difficult to play and hold it this way at the same time. A couple other biking games. For shopping, I've got Groupon, Living Social, Window Shop from Amazon, and of course the Amazon default app. Window Shop is another fantastic app for the iPad, where you can just kind of browse around and say, oh yeah, I'd like to buy that. Oh, I already have that. Oh, I'd like to get that. Easy, serendipitous discovery. Then we have weather, a weather folder, including a weather station, Weather Live, and Weather HD, which displays weather in very high quality animations right there on your screen. Let me see here. I'm going to go ahead and initialize the app. Okay, maybe not. We're going to move on because it's taking too long. Input, output. I have drag and dictation on here. HP ePrint, although I don't have a lot of HP printers at this point. I also have a way to more easily record voice memos on Recorder HD. I do have Epson printers at this point, so I have the Epson Print application, although they're AirPrint enabled as well, so I'm not too worried about it because I can use AirPrint from any application that supports it. And I use TinyScan on the iPad. If I want to, scan in a document instead of using a scanner, I use the iPad if that's the device I have on me at the time, because I would use the camera for that. I also have the SoundCloud app available to me as well. I also have a separate remotes folder, so anything that might be controlled remotely goes in here. Parallels, you could connect to your virtual machines that way. Jump, I also use. Sonos for our Sonos controller. I love Sonos. I also have the Red Stat, which allows me to control my thermostats remotely through iOS. Go to Assist on Live Desktop, which is an easy way of using Microsoft Office right now on the iPad. iTeleport, which is my VNC client of choice. I have the Hue app, which allows me to change my light bulb colors. I did a video on that a few weeks ago. Communication folder with TeamSpeak, Skype, and Bobsled. Bobsled's from T-Mobile. Allows you to call your Facebook friends like you're talking to them on the phone. Social folder. Not as packed as you'd think it would be. I don't use a lot of different social apps, just the standard ones. Facebook, Tweetbot. I also have the Smart Glass app from Microsoft, the Xbox right there. Don't use TweetDeck as much anymore. Certainly don't use Twitter as much. It should probably kill them. LinkedIn app is there, an IRC app, WordPress, and Boxcar, which was great for notifications back in the day, but isn't as interesting anymore. If I happen to be around some kids, then I want to impress. I've got a kids folder. I don't have kids yet. There's Granimator, which is fun. The Dr. Seuss ABC book, which I grew up with. ABC Magnets. The monster at the end of this book I got for free. Nyan Cat I have in the kids folder because it's kind of fun for kids, don't you think? Different books. So if I need to entertain a kid and I had the iPad, I would be able to do that. Whole time folder with a whole bunch of clocks for different reasons, including when I'm doing an event. I usually use Chronolight. And that allows me to, oh my God, it's been over a year since last I used this application. I don't use it all that often. See, that's the thing with a lot of these iPad apps. I may not use them every day, but they're there. And I can just tap and then they're open and I know that I have them. So that helps me keep track of different stopwatches on the same screen. That's why I would use that application. Video folder. And I don't use it all that often. I have used iMovie in the past. That's my default or go-to video editing app on iOS. There are a few others in here, including ways to play different formatted videos that aren't native to the iPad. Tilt Shift Videos, a great little video editor creator that lets you apply different tilt shift effects. Then there's also, where's that one? Oh, there we go. Collaboracam, which allows you to connect different iOS devices to one, and then you can act as a director and switch the video feeds between one of those remote cameras and another and composite them into one video. It's amazing how they pulled that off. I've got a math folder with some calculators and the way that I get to FreshBooks. I usually use the web though, so you can see I haven't launched that one yet on this iPad at least. Collabs, so for collaborative efforts like GoToMeeting, Sync Space, Idea Sketch, Whiteboard. I had to spill over into a separate folder for collaborative things, and so collabs was it. Holidays, not much in here right now because, I know it is the holidays, but I just haven't found ones that I really want to keep on here, and I know that sounds strange. Cut the Rope, the holiday edition, Paper Snow, where you can make paper snowflakes, which is fun. Not going to get into it right now, though. Because you can see I've got a few apps in here, and I'm surprised you guys are even sticking around this long. I've got a way that I can find out when new apps are have dropped in price or have become free. Apps Fire is one of my favorite ones to use for that. And then in a couple of seconds, you'll see the icons populate in the middle, and you can tap each one of them. Oh, Dora the Explorer? I may have to download that one because I can put it in my kids folder, and use it in the future. But isn't that cool? Love that. Apps Fire. And then a couple of others, including, where's the one? I guess I don't have it on here. I use App Advice. Oh, I do. There we go. On the iPhone all the time. And this is a nice one. And it loads different app news. It's a great way to find out what's new. Who doesn't like these apps? Especially when they're free. I've got a DJ folder, even though I'm not a DJ. Again, some more music fun stuff. Including a couple of really cool ones that I recently picked up. Let's see here. There we go. Chaosilator, which I did a while ago. I did a video on this. I think a separate video on it. I'm pretty sure. I have the actual Chaosilator in a drawer, but with this, you can just touch a screen and then record different loops. And then it loops around, and you can record, and you can play, and so I like that app. It's fun. I know many people would use it to make money by DJing, but I'm not going to make money by DJing. This is one that I picked up for 99 cents. I did pay for this app, well, again, using the free app card. Figure. It's a universal binary, and what you can do with this is draw your music and make different patterns. This is fun. I mean, what else are you going to use your iPad for? Email? Browsing the web? I love those types of applications. So a lot of them are here in the DJ folder. In case I get a wild hair shooting out my nose and I want to DJ, it's not going to happen. Games and different things with various creatures I have inside my creatures folder. One of my favorite creature games of all time would be Zuma, and since it's a frog there, I put it in creatures. I don't know if you've ever played Zuma before. You probably have. There are different types of games that play like Zuma, but I played Zuma, one of the first games I played on the Xbox 360, as a matter of fact. And this is, you spin the frog around, and as the balls come in, you've got to match the color of the balls. Zuma! There we go, do that. I like this game a lot. So it deserved a place to live here. You never really know when I'm going to play any other game. Clipboard. Oh, it's telling me the backgrounding session's about to end there at the top of the screen, FYI. I've got a sports folder. Don't keep a lot in there. I'm a big fan of the bowling games, though, like Hyper Bowl, which they ported over from the classic arcade game. UFC, for those of you who like it, if your name's Soldier Knows Best. Golf Putt 3D. I mean, just some simple games. I like playing touch hockey, though, especially, with someone else. I don't have an air hockey table. Likely will never need an air hockey table. I just love the sound of the puck. Oh, let's do this. Let's unmute it. Here we go. An instant replay. I like a chunk, chunk. Come on, go. Ah! It just farted. Did you hear it? So all my sports stuff going there. Tablers, so dice or mahjong. I guess air hockey's in here. I've got to go through and reorganize this thing for the next time that I do what's on my iPad. A Game of Life, Monopoly. These are table games that are typical table games. Dice HD. I think one of my favorite mahjong games on the iPad is this one. It's Moonlight Mahjong. Shanghai is also rather nice. I wouldn't have kept it if I didn't find the graphics to be good or the gameplay to be, very clean and easy to use, specifically on the iPad screen. I also have card games, so Solitaire, Hearts, and that's pretty much it. Those are the two card games that I like playing. Mazers, so if I like any kind of maze games, I like playing mazes. They're sitting in here. Nothing really interesting, so to speak. Mazy is fun. Yes, sure, I would like to use that. Shake to start. I guess I shook it too hard. Let's go ahead and move forward, though. Astronomy, because I know this is the video is getting kind of long. So all the astronomy apps that I have are in here. Star Walk, Planets, Go Skywatch, Pocket Universe or P Universe, Redshift, Planetary, Sky Safari, and Starlight. I have a few installed because they each seem to have a different set of features, and if I'm like trying to figure out what's that planet, or what is that a planet, is that a star, what's going on, I could pull out any one of these applications and figure it out. And if one of them doesn't help me, the other one might be able to help me. There we go. We've got it in a mode that makes it easier to look at night, which is when you'd be primarily probably using an astronomy app. I have the Ballsies folder, so anything that has to do with balls, including Marble Mixer, a classic. I love that game on the iPad. There's a new one. Well, they renamed it. It used to be called Pong, but I think it was probably a licensing issue. Multi-Ponk is a great it's like a multiplayer Pong game on a table. It's a good game. Really good game. Outstanding graphics, outstanding animations. I've got a couple of those, the Zuma clones in here because they're related to balls, but they didn't have creatures, so they didn't go in the creatures folder. I know everyone has a different way of organizing the things that they have installed. Labyrinth, a classic game. Pinball HD on here as well, and then I've got the Pinball Collection HD for here. I don't usually allow restore purchases. I don't think I have any other purchases on here. I think this one comes with Wild West. Pinball games on an iPad are amazing. Yeah, okay. There we go. Very responsive. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, enough of that. I like pinball, just don't have enough of them. Bubbles, I've got a Bubbles folder, including World of Goo installed on here. That's a good one. I'm a big casual gamer, and I found that this one... Oh, I don't want to enter my name or connect to Facebook right now. Okay, well, I won't show you then. It's called Meanwhile, and it's another casual game where you can tap the different balls of color, or bubbles of color, and you have to avoid certain ones or just tap certain ones, and so it's a game of skill. There's also Smallies. So these are apps that have not been optimized for the iPad screen yet, but I still want to have, like Star Wars Trench Run, Luminous, Appzilla, my real font, which allows me to make fonts on the iPad and export them as TrueType files, or TrueType fonts, TTFs. Numbers, so number games like Super 7 HD, Glowburst, another classic, really easy. I suck at numbers and math. Latest news, no, I don't care. Glowburst, easy. 1, 2, 3, you got to do them in order. 2, 4, 6, 8, and then it gets harder as you move up the levels, but fun and casual. I also have a characters folder with different characters in here, or what I believe are they could be creatures, but they're more like stick figures or people. Like, I love this one, Ready, Steady, Bang. This one, it's kind of you've got to play, hang on, you got to shoot him before he shoots you. Ready. Steady. Got him. Okay, so I thought I didn't get him. You have to wait until it says bang, and then you progress through the levels. Fun game, and that voice scares my dog, Wicket. I also have a puzzle folder filled with all sorts of puzzles. One of my favorites over this past year, even though I've got a lot of really good ones in here, is Pictorial HD. You may have heard of this. I don't know if I talked about it before, but it's like you get these dots, and yes, I am enjoying... Oh, crap. I've got to learn to stop tapping yes. Open that up again. There's a new version available too. Nice. I beat all the levels on this already, but basically you move the stars or maneuver the stars until you match a certain object, and then you can see the object that shows up. And there we go. The lines start to appear. Oh, it looks like I'm creating a house. Get those lines straight. There we go. And then I go to the next screen. Fun game, very casual, easy to use, and fun to play. It's a good puzzler. I also have a levelers folder. So again, these are a lot of games. i/HD, Fruit Ninja HD in here as well. Cut the Rope. Where's My Water? Angry Birds HD. Silly Owls. Love i/HD. In fact, I think got free coins. Nice. I think I played through all the levels on this one. Yeah, I got 3 stars on everything. But basically, you can slash, but only cut off parts of the board that don't have an object in them at any point, and then this game plays better. I mean, even though there are versions for the big screen and small screen, definitely plays better on the larger screen. Music fun would be more game-like music that I really can't put anywhere else, including a Glee app. Don't laugh. Dance Pad, which is a fun one. Circadia, which is a good classic game that has sound and touch and is fun. So tap a color to release a burst, and then it's got to hit that, and that's how you go to the next level. So tap a color to release a burst. Gotta wait. The burst must hit the white dot, and then they put obstructions as you move along. Fun and very audible. Because it's sound, it's music. I've got an action folder in here, so it's Temple Run and Pitfall. I actually like Pitfall, though I wouldn't say it's like the best of the genre. It's certainly very, very compelling. I like it more than Temple Run. I also have a classics folder, probably one of my favorite folders, because again, being a classic gamer, I like Pack and Jump, which isn't like the old Pac-Man. I have the Atari Greatest Hits. I purchased all of these. In fact, I did a separate video on this app a long time ago that I think many of you guys had watched. You can play all of the... I can restore all the purchases if I hadn't already, but I need to remember to mute this thing as I move on. All the classic Atari 2600 games, coin-op games, well, not all the Atari games, specifically the ones that are missing from the Atari lineup in this app are the Activision games. But as you caught in one of my vlogs the other day, Activision now has an anthology for iOS, so I can play all my classic Activision Atari games on here, made by Code Mystics as well. And I loved Activision's Atari games more than Atari's Atari games. How sad is that? Activision was awesome. I've got Monopoly on here, another classic. Probably could go to another folder, not a biggie. Family Feud, classic game that I used to watch. Boulder Dash, which I haven't played on the iPad yet, but I used to play it on the Commodore 64. Midway Arcade, Spy vs. Spy. I've got iMaim installed as well. Spy vs. Spy, a game that I played on the Commodore 64 with my brothers all the time. Made by First Star Software, also the game, the people who make, who made Boulder Dash. And then we have Wordies, Boggle, Words with Friends HD, Scrabble, and then of course other games that have something to do with words, including Letterpress. Oh, and speaking of, give me a second as I load Letterpress there in the background or foreground. There's news today. This is really strange. Microsoft released their first game that on the iPhone that uses Xbox Live achievements, Wordament. So I'm going to try that just to generate Xbox Live achievements from iOS devices. Wordament will soon be installed. I'm going to give that a shot. I like word games. And here's the last page, as you can see. Well, maybe you can't see, but this is the last page. The 3D'ers is a fun folder, so games casual stuff that does really good 3D rendering, or in my estimation, really good 3D stuff, including Dark Side, which was kind of like an Asteroids game that's 3D. I'm going to play this one real quick, or try to, just to show you. I was playing it yesterday, and so I'm up from stage 1 to stage 2. So you maneuver around using the two controllers. It's almost impossible not to hit an object while you're doing it. But again, this is a really fun game, like the 3D stuff. Then we have Spacers, so anything related to outer space or spaceships, including Angry Birds Space, Angry Birds Star Wars, Mutant Storm, another game that I absolutely loved on the Xbox 360. I think I played it once on a vlog a long time ago, but a great game on the iPad. I mean, it's like the iPad was made for Mutant Storm. Love this game. I'm trying to see if I can jump through it real quick. It's kind of hard to play these things and do it in rapid succession, because I know there's a lot of stuff that I want to show you in this video, and it's probably already dragged on long. Is anybody still with me? So again, it's you use one side to control the spaceship and the other side to blast away at the enemies. Very fun, very visual, and I'm careful about playing sound in YouTube videos because I don't want to violate anybody's copyright. But, just assume that all the games have sound. I also have Geometry Wars Touch. Must install. Absolutely must. Another great one that I found out about on the Xbox 360. I think that's where it first appeared, really. Metal Storm in Flyers. Also have Flight Control HD. Icarus X. Any type of airplane types of games would go in here. Air Supremacy. Air Attack HD. Air Attack HD reminds me of the classic game Twin Cobra. If you guys ever played that coin-op. I usually turn those things off for games. All right, let's just continue. Just trying to show you here real quick. You may have already played this one. It's a pretty popular one, if I'm not mistaken. Twin Cobra played a lot like this. You remember that? Okay, maybe you don't. Maybe it's just me who played the classic games. Then we have Blocky. So anything that might be blocky. Tetris being one of those things. iCut Deluxe, although they have 2 versions available right now for some reason. Jenga HD is in here. Let's see here. One of my favorites in this folder at this point in time is A Monster Ate My Homework. In fact, there's a new level available. I had beaten everything, and then they just finally released a new level. I love this game. There's grade 1 I passed. You can see, I'm not kidding. I play these games a lot. Grade 4, grade 5 beat that. Grade 6, I have not yet played. So I have to play grade 6 to get through it. I will, at some point, play that game. A Monster Ate My Homework. You basically throw balls at objects, and it's puzzly and 3D-ish. Piecers, so like little bits and pieces that might be on a virtual board or a real board. Tofu 2 is in here, which is a fun game, a good casual game, and kind of a puzzler. iQuarters, where you can play the game Quarters on your iPad. Diode, which is not really as much... okay, so it's...
Welcome to Diode.
I just like the sound on this game. Is that weird? How I might like the game more for the sound than the gameplay at some point. Vehicles, so just random vehicles, like that wouldn't fit in any other folder. Like I got Risk, so that's got a tank. Okay, that goes there. It's a vehicle. Harbor Master, that's a boat. I don't have a boat folder. It goes here. UFO on Tape, I don't have a UFO folder. It goes in here. Chaos, Train Conductor, another classic game that's a good one for casual gaming, but everything else would play in here. Driving, I love playing driving games on the iPhone and the iPad if I can find a really, really, really good one. Smash Cops on here, Cosmic Cab, another fun one, Smash Heat. I've been getting into the Smash games and trying to really get my head around the controls. Death Rally, Drift Mania, Hot Pursuit, etc. But I also have a separate racing folder with the classic racing games, Need for Speed, Sonic Racing, Real Racing 2 HD, a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful game. Shrek Karting, you know, if I want a casual gamer. I think they've got Pack Kart for iOS too. I just haven't picked it up yet. So that's pretty much what's on my iPad, and I apologize that I had to kind of fly through that as quickly as I could. There's a lot of apps that I have, a lot of my favorites, and a lot of them I don't use on a regular basis. If I went through and showed you each of these apps, we'd be here even longer than we've been here. So if you want to know more about any one of those particular apps that you saw or that I kind of glossed over, please let me know, and I will explain a little further as to why I have it installed. May not be installed the next time I show you what's on my iPad. The bottom line is I have a lot of space, may not use all the apps all the time, but I know they're there at my fingertips if I need to use them without having to re-download them, which can, at this point in time, be a bit of a challenge with iOS 6 and the way they've mismanaged it. So, thanks again. If you have any other apps to recommend, feel free to do so. Thanks for liking, for sharing this video if you found it interesting, if you even watched it all the way through. Thanks for using those free application apps that I showed you at the beginning of the video. Go.tagjag.com/free points, go.tagjag.com/free slots, and go.tagjag.com/free apps.